What's up, guys? Got some stuff done here this morning. I got that pedal box in there, and then the brake booster elite bolted up with the clutch master also bolted up. That's not fully tightened yet because I need to leave it loose to get the brake booster holes lined up, but it's all in there for the most part. I need to get measurements from this to each wheel now for my brake lines to get made up from chase bays. I also bolted up the throttle body that wasn't on there. Bolted up the throttle body. Couldn't find a gasket, so I just put the bolts in and got them, barely tight. So now I can kind of mock up this intercooler. We're not even using this one, but just to get an idea of how it's all gonna look. I already had it on there. It fits pretty good. I'll show you guys in a second. But now we just gotta keep plugging away. I don't have it on the lift, so I'm probably not gonna get those brake line measurements today. I can do the front corners, I guess, but to get under there and do the to do the rear lines is probably gonna be a little difficult. I'd rather just wait till it's on the lift. So for the rest of today, I'll probably just keep messing with this wiring, getting it sorted out and cleaned up. No, it's not exciting for you guys, and I honestly hate it probably just as much, if not more, than you guys do. But it's got to get done at some point. So it's one of the few things that can be done with the car on the ground with no lift and doesn't make a difference. So just focus on that today, I guess. Alright, I'm gonna pause and hook this intercooler up and show you guys how it looks with that on there. Alright guys, so there it is on there. It fits pretty well. I just got the one coupler slid on. This bracket doesn't line up, but this one does here. We're not gonna be using this intercooler either way. This is an eBay one, and it's like way too big. This engine bay's already crammed enough, and this thing's just huge. If I was gonna get a big intercooler, I'd get a Process West because it's the best one. That's what I have on my STI, but it's not even worth it. I don't even need it for this car. This car's not gonna be making a ton of power. It won't need to make a ton of power. So I got a 2010 stock STI intercooler that I'm gonna put in here. I think that'll fit a little better and probably look a little better too. I think these eBay ones just look kind of cheap. But yeah, that's that. So I'm gonna get plugging away on this wiring and anything else I can get going on here. I think I forgot, now that the pedal box is all in there and the clutch master's bolted up, I think I'm gonna snug these lines up and I guess I won't be able to bleed it myself, but snug all these lines up, get it filled with fluid, and see if I can see this clutch pedal actually working or not. Probably set the camera up because I'm not gonna be able to push the clutch and watch at the same time, but so we'll see if that's working at all. Maybe find a way to help me self bleed it. Maybe get like the impact and pump it up and then leave the impact on it so it doesn't return. I don't know, we'll try something, but let you guys know if we get anything else down here, anything interesting. I'm not gonna bore you guys with the wiring anymore unless I find something kind of interesting or something. Alright guys, I didn't even try to bleed the slave cylinder yet, but I just want to see if the slave moves at all when I press the clutch pedal. Alright, well that obviously didn't work, so next I'm going to try to bleed this sleeve a little by myself. I don't know how well it's going to work, but we're going to see what happens. Alright guys, got some good news here. Just messing around with the wiring some more, and I got the odometer working, so that's pretty freaking sweet. As you can see, this car only had like 103,000 miles. Probably would explain why that belt is original if this is the correct reading. And like I said, this kid did blow up the trans. You got a 05 trans put in it. But yeah, that's pretty sweet. I still got a few more wires that I'm tracing down and figuring out what's what, but most of these are all kind of just not really a big deal. If I need them, I can always go back and get to them. But I'm happy I got that working. And also it looks like the fuel gauge is working now because that wasn't activating either. So I'm thinking I got pretty much the whole dash working now. Maybe the oil template, I don't know if does that come on at first? No, or oil pressure I meant. Yeah, I might still have to figure out the oil pressure light, but we got the odometer working, so that's cool. It probably, I mean, it should be on with the key off, but whatever. It doesn't save the power for some reason, but that might just be an issue somewhere else. Either way, it lights up when the car's on, so that's sweet. What's up, guys? I know it's been a while. Still waiting to do this fuel cell because me and my buddy's schedules just haven't been lining up. I've been having a crazy past week, and yeah, we just haven't been able to meet up to do it together. Yesterday I was messing with this downpipe a little bit though. I cut it at the weld and notched a little bit and bent it over to clear that control arm down there. It's still pretty close, but I think it's pretty good. I might notch it a tiny bit more. Got some titanium hardware on there, looking pretty good. But I cut the whole like bottom half of it off, the O2 sensor, because none of this is just lining up with the tranny mount that I built or anything. So I'm gonna pause it and I'm gonna get under there and show you guys what it's looking like, and then give you guys the rundown on what what's the next plan, or what's the next thing to come. I did mess with this wiring some more. I can't remember what I filmed, but I think I got I think I filmed the part where I got the odometer reading working, and there's some other lights that are lighting up now. There's still a few more wires I have to look at a diagram and mark them and figure out where they're going and if I really feel like rerunning them or not. But harness is like, it's like 90% gone through and I guess 40% done because it needs to be all rewrapped and fully routed and everything. That's gonna be another project I'm kind of dreading. Alright guys, I'm gonna pause it and take you guys up. Alright guys, so we're under here now. You can see all the way up there is where I made the first cut to bend it, and then I made this cut here to get it a little bit tighter up into this tranny mount. It was hanging a little bit lower. I got it up about a ½ an inch, I'd say, and so that's why I cut up there, and I kind of clocked it a little bit according to this tranny mount too. It was coming a little bit more over on the left side here. But it's definitely gonna be a little tight between there, but I don't see why the motor would be moving that much to make the downpipe contact the control arm. So we'll see what happens there. The only thing I can think of is if, well, the adjustment is going the other way, so I don't think that'll be an issue. Alright guys, next I'm just gonna probably cut this back little section here off of this, cut into this bend, and then this will just be our first flange for the downpipe. It's gonna come out right after this tranny mount. I'm just gonna do some measuring to make sure it's gonna come out a decent, 2 inches past that mount, and just so that when I'm going to unbolt it in the future that I'm not like fighting this tranny mount and I have to use like wrenches, and I don't know. Just want it to have a good amount of room there. So I'm gonna double check that and then probably cut this piece and probably tack it on there. Alright guys, this is where I wanted to cut this downpipe. Like here isn't gonna be long enough to get this flange out past that tranny mount. So we're not gonna do that. I'll probably just do like a little pie cut out of here or something. I'm gonna have to get a long stick of 3 inch either way, but I'm gonna have to do a little pie cut, and then we'll do a little straight section, and then we'll just weld this flange right to the straight section wherever I want it to come out. So this downpipe's gonna be kind of pieced together. There's gonna be quite a few weld seams. I mean, it might, I might end up making another one once I get a 3 inch die for the tube bender, or just have my buddy make me one at work. I'm not sure, but this will be good for now. We can always make a nicer, prettier one later down the line, and then we'll have this one as a template and save us a lot of money probably. So alright, just figured I'd give you guys an update, and it looks like I have all these wires marked already, so everything's pretty much figured out. I can't remember, maybe I'll hook up the battery, but I can't remember. There was one thing. Oh, I think what the only one thing I was confused about is that the odometer wouldn't power up just with battery power. It would only power up under ignition. And I know some Subarus are like that, and I don't know if that's to do with the car or what, but I know I've seen this in the past. All of my cars, well, my Impreza is powered up all times. The car's off, keys out, the odometer reads. STI different because it's a different dash or a different cluster, and it's all electronically powered by the key. So I'm not sure why this one's not lighting up. This is an identical cluster to my Impreza dash, so I'm not really sure. It's not even a big deal, honestly, but I'm just kind of confused by that. Alright, so either way, I'll give you guys a little update. Maybe I'll try to piece together some old clips and these clips tonight and get this uploaded, because I know not many of you, but some of you are probably interested in what's going on, and yeah, might as well give you guys an update. Yeah, I really haven't accomplished anything in the past like 3 weeks or whatever it's been. I'm going to start ordering some wiring supplies to neaten this harness up, some loom, some good tape. I think I'm gonna go with the DEI brand. They have like their own loom, and it's like patch over Velcro loom, so if I ever have to get back in, I don't have to cut all the loom back and deal with how brittle it is after 3 years and blah 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 blah. Everybody knows how much wiring sucks. So I'm gonna start ordering some of that. It's not exactly the cheapest option, but I think I'll be the happiest within the long run. And then we're gonna get this fuel cell. That's number one. We're gonna get this fuel cell done. Hopefully I can get there sometime after work this week. I'm actually starting a new job this week, by the way. Hopefully I can get there this week, and I'll help him drill. We'll mark all the holes. We'll drill the holes for the sending unit bolts. We'll tap all them. Well, I'm gonna drill it, and then I'm gonna helicoil coil every hole, because it's gonna be an aluminum tank, and I just want the threads for those bolt holes, even though they're not gonna be any under any amount of torque. I just want them to be strong, and I'll just Loctite the helicoils in there, and we'll be good to go. So we gotta do that. And then I bought a hole saw for the filler neck, and so we're gonna drill that hole. He can weld the bung in, and then he can weld the tank all together once we have the sending unit in place and we're happy with it and we know everything's good. So that should hopefully be this weekend. I don't want to say this, but I would like to think I might be able to, that tank might be able to be done by this weekend, depending when our schedules are able to let us meet up. I'm also probably gonna order some fuel line here soon also. I've been kind of dreading it because I know it's going to be a little expensive. I was looking into different brands and stuff. It's all the Amazon brands and all kinds of other not so big name brands. I'm probably just going to go with Russell or maybe Earl's. I think Russell is looking like the #1 option right now. They have the Pro Classic hose. I think I can get like 20 feet of that and I will be good. Well, 20 feet for a feed, and then I'm probably going to need another 20-foot roll for a return. But either way, so I think the 20-foot roll is somewhere around $100, and plus fittings and blah blah. I'm going to have to buy an AN filter. So yeah, I think I'm going to go with 8 AN fittings for the supply, and then 6 for the return most likely. A lot of people run 6 to begin with for both. I just think that I just want to go a little oversized, just better safe than sorry. This car will never be, I can guarantee this car will never make over 400 to 450 the wheel, but it's always better to have more fuel than less and be choking it out and, turning down the boost just because you don't have enough fuel. Alright guys, so that's that. Get this wiring harness sorted and somewhat together, and then get these fuel lines and fittings and all that good stuff and get this fuel cell done. I'd really like to hear this thing start, because it's probably the only thing that's going to give me motivation to actually work on it. Hey guys, what's going on? I ordered some stuff up for the Brat fuel system. We got 20 foot of AN6 hose here. Originally I wanted to do AN8 for the feed and AN6 for the return, but most fuel filters take AN6 fittings, and the IAG feed rails take AN6 fittings. And the fuel, since I'm still using the fuel sending unit, the stock one, hose coming out of there is 5/16. So to adapt a 5/16 hard line to a AN8 hose would be kind of a pain. I bought this because I thought it would work. It's a 5/16 quick connect to an AN6, but since the fuel, I thought it would still clip on, but since the hard line isn't technically a quick connect, I won't be able to use that. Russell does make another fitting similar to this, but the second part actually threads into the front part. It's kind of confusing, but I've read that it works for Subaru hardlines, so I think we'll be good there. I ordered this Russell fuel filter. It's a little smaller than I was expecting, but it was pretty cheap. I want to look up, of course I just dripped in oil. I want to look up what the filter micron size is on this, because it didn't list on the Amazon post. Everybody says use Aeromotive fuel filters, but they're crazy. They're not crazy expensive, but they're like 120 bucks. I will do another filter if I have to, but I'm thinking the sock and the sending unit, and then that should be fine, but we'll see. And then this is some DEI, it's called vulcanizing tape. I haven't used it yet, but apparently it doesn't leave any kind of sticky residue behind. I kind of was reading some more after I ordered it, and I think it's more so meant for where you make connections, like butt splices and crimps and stuff. I don't know if it's meant to wrap a whole harness, but either way, it's good to have. Still, I really don't want to do all loom for the harness, because I just hate the way loom looks, and I hate how the tape gets all brittle and the loom gets all brittle, and it just turns into a giant mess. So I'm still trying to figure that out. I was hoping that tape would be a good solution for that, but it's pretty expensive, and you only get, I think that's like 25 foot, if that, so it's going to take quite a few of those to do the whole harness. So I'm still debating on what I want to do to wrap the harness, but at least we have a start. I can use this to get it at least kind of neatened up a little bit. Tomorrow morning I am supposed to be going to my buddy's house, and we are going to drill the hole for the filler bung, and then we're going to drill and tap all the holes for the sending unit to bolt up, and then he will be good to go, and he can complete the complete welding the cell. So I'm really hoping that next weekend I'll have the fuel cell back, and hopefully get this fuel system halfway rigged up, and at least maybe do a test start. What up, guys? I just got back from my buddy's house. We drilled and tapped all the holes for the sending unit on the tank, and then we drilled out the hole for the filler neck for the bung that's going to be connected to the filler neck. So this sending unit was over there for mock-up. This is the actual Wrx sending unit, not the one I was showing you in the other video. And you can see how this raised lip is, this one's slightly different. It's smooth here, and there's only one single raised lip. These ones have a little raised lip here to prevent a hose clamp from coming off, because these are not the quick connects. So the feed on this actually is a quick connect, and it looks like I will be able to just use this fitting I showed you guys. It actually pops, well, if I have more than one hand, pops right on there. Can't pull it back off unless you undo the clip. So I think I'll be set for that one, and then I'm thinking I'll just get, this is how it's going to sit in the car. It's going to face the rear of the car, so closest to me is the front side of the car. So I think I'll just get a 90-degree fitting on that one. I'll yeah, I'll get a 90-degree fitting on that, and then probably just do my filter like right after that, just to get it as close as possible. And then I might even do another inline filter farther up near in the engine bay, depending on what people say about this filter. I think I was doing some reading, and I think this is like a 40 micron screen. I haven't really done much research on what the proper size would be, but I'm gonna look into that some more. And then, so this will be my return. I already ordered those other things I was telling you about that screw into the backside. Like I said, the dude says that it works on Subaru fittings or Subaru hardlines, so we'll see. He's probably talking about the quick connect ones though. But I'm gonna check it out, and if not, I feel pretty comfortable with just doing a double hose clamp, or the actual fuel clamps, not the serrated worm clamps. But I'm fine with doing a double clamp for the return. I would be worried for the feed, but for the return, it's basically under no pressure. I think that would be more than fine. And what was I gonna say? And like I was about to say, the double clamp. Honestly, on my STI, where it comes out of the rail, this isn't my STI, but for an example, where it comes out of the engine bay, these hard lines here. So this is a filter, a non-filter. The filter's just in the pump, but mine has a fuel filter here, and I actually just have AN hose double clamped straight to the fuel filter hard line, which is essentially the same as this. And that's for my feed and my return on that car. So I think it's fine. Everybody says you shouldn't use hose clamps for AN hose because it's not a direct matchup, blah blah blah. I've never noticed any fuel leaks coming out of that fitting, or out of that connection, so I think I'll be fine there. But we got, like I said, we got all these holes drilled and tapped. I test fitted it, bolted it up, everything looks good. And then we drilled out the hole for the bung, like I said, for the filler neck. So he's just gonna probably spend some time this week getting the tank itself fully welded up. Right now it's just tacked up, and I'm hoping, I'm not rushing him by any means, but I'm hoping he'll maybe have that ready for me by next weekend. So then next weekend we can at least put it up on the lift here, and then we just gotta like kind of set the tank up there and just figure out where I want to make my brackets to actually mount the tank to the car. So it's just gonna be two basically L brackets and probably just 2 bolts on each side with some rubber isolators. It's gonna be super simple. It's gonna be a super easy fuel tank to remove, and it's gonna be light as hell too, so it's probably could pull the fuel tank down with no training jack, honestly. But I was thinking when I was walking in here, I might, depending where the tank lies and where the rust spots are in this bed, because I still haven't addressed any of these rust spots. Right now it's filled with junk, but judging by where I'm looking, they probably won't fall in any rust spots. But I was considering cutting an access panel in the bed just so I can like do a pump, replace the fuel pump and all that without even dropping the tank. But I probably won't cut into the bed if it's good in that section. I would only do it if it was like up here where there's already a couple little rot holes. It's kind of hard to see, like right there. But we'll see what happens. It's looking like it's going to be in line where this manifold and everything is, and I think it's all good metal back here, so we'll see what happens. Like I said, the fuel tank will be super easy to drop, so I'm really not stressing it. And then I just got to get a pipe gotta cut this pipe shorter back, and then get a pipe that's the right size for this AN hose, and then we'll just clamp that, like I said, for a filler neck. Even if it leaks the tiniest bit, it's no biggie. But I think it's 1 1/8" outside diameter pipe that I need to get, which is kind of odd because most of the time they sell pipe by inside diameter. So I'm just gonna have to figure it out. I'm gonna have to order like 1 inch ID pipe with a 16" or 16th wall thickness, whatever, 16th on both sides, 1/8 inch. I don't know, we'll see what happens. My buddies keep saying that I'm gonna have problems filling the tank and all this because I'm gonna keep reducing it down. I think fuel will flow pretty good through that big hose. I'm fine with filling it on the first click on the pump anyway. I'm not, you know, it's only gonna be 8-gallon tank. It's not like I'm gonna be standing there for 5 hours filling it up. All right, that's what I got for you guys. Like I said, hopefully next weekend I'll have this tank. We can mock it up, and then he can maybe tack those brackets and maybe even do a little test start. I think I got to order a few more fittings. I know I have a few 90-degree fittings, but I'm gonna have to order a couple more. I'm gonna need one here. I guess for here I'll probably just do another 90 right there. They're just gonna be routed kind of weird, but we'll see what happens. I'm definitely gonna need some more straight fittings, and then probably gonna have to order some more hose too, but we'll see what happens. All right, guys, that's all for today. I'll keep you updated for sure, and hopefully we can both hear this thing start soon. All right, thanks for watching.